Hello everyone, I'm Fiona Mboa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. And we do this to make sure marriages are the way God designed them to be. Marriages are supposed to be exciting, fun, a place where we find peace. And that's what we're doing here at Ring Diaries to make sure marriages are much better. Today, with me is Pastor Barnabas Samuel Aliku.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So Pastor Samuel has been married for 20 years. And if he looks like this, then it's something is working. And today we have come to bombard your minds. Many people say that if you want to hide something from a Ugandan, from an African, put it in books. And I've been wondering how many times, as the viewers, how many times do you take off time to actually read a book? But especially in our marriages, how many times do you take off to read with your spouse or to read something that is going to enrich you and your marriage? Today we're going to talk about some of the things that, some of the books that Pastor Sam has written and how they can make our marriages better. But also what I want to share, a few of the books that he has written here. We have Mothers Raising Sons, and I think most of us have sons. Now these are courses. I think they're courses?
Yes, they are courses. We call them experiences. Yeah, because they are 10 weeks.
So you take the child for 10 weeks?
No, it's the mother that goes through the program because, the mother goes through the program. So the mother raising, or a caregiver, male caregiver, going through the program for mothers raising sons. They go through the program, to better them on how to raise a man. And the mantra there is that you're raising somebody's husband and somebody's father, so you need to raise him well. So as you're raising this person, this young man,
you need to have that in mind.
Yes.
That is just not your son, he's actually someone's husband.
Yes, and somebody's father one day.
And what I wonder actually, Pastor Sam, we do trainings for workplaces have trainings. How come we've not given a bit of prominence to trainings that involve our lives? I don't know, from your experience with people.
Right.
Because you find every workplace will have a training. Actually, before you even get employed, they do like a 2 weeks training.
Right.
But now we get into marriage, first of all, no one trains us. Then also you have a child, and no one actually takes you through this. Right. What do you think? Why is it like that?
Yes, I think before I come to that, those are my names as I was introduced. It's true, I've been married for 20 years to one Christine, Mutesi Aliku, and yes, we run an NGO called Petra Families Foundation. Transition from Petra Family, Rehoboth International Life Ministries. And so we reach out to the boy, child, and men. And that's our calling, and also to families. And actually, we got a Vine Award, Family Vine Award award from Vine. What's it called? Yes, Vine Awards. We got an award just because of the things that we are doing and that we're reaching out. So the program you've just shared about, Mothers Raising Sons, is just one of the 7 that we run as we reach out to the boy child. We have Boys to Men Boot Camp. We have
I'm seeing
Shepherding a Teenager's Heart. It's really for parents with teenagers. We have Man of Honor. It's also an experience. It's a 10-week experience for men. We have Pursuit of Purity for purely teenagers and young adults. And then we have the Strand of 3, which is right here.
What we are going to discuss.
Yes, which we're going to discuss about today. The Strand of 3 is, and then
the 5-star dad.
And then the 5-star dad, which we launched recently at Sky's Hotel. It's also for fathers. It's just to empower them how to father better their daughters and sons. And we're going back to basics, rebuilding foundations as fathers. Because
I like the mantra here.
Yes.
The dad, a son's first hero, and a daughter's first love.
Yes.
And I think if we actually understood that, then we'd be better fathers. And
yes.
better parents.
Yes. So it's very interesting, the question you asked. the marriage institution is very interesting. It's the only institution where you're given a certificate on day one
Without any qualification.
without any qualification.
Yes.
The qualification is you going at the altar and saying, I do.
I do, yes.
And so you're given a certificate and you present it to everybody happily after signing, and that means I'm going to defend this certificate until death does me part. That's what it means. You standing up there and showing everybody, this is my certificate, I've just gotten married. Yeah, so it takes, it's a very interesting institution. So Christine and I have, even over the years, we've been working with quite a number of couples, just preparing them to the place of marriage.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean we are so perfect, but it's a place of getting knowledge and wisdom in your area of just the way you are. So getting information is very important before you get into this institution. Unfortunately, some people don't get it, and I think it's quite a big percentage. The last I checked on statistics was about 30% of people don't go for premarital counseling before they jump into this great institution. So it gets, you get in there, you're two different people from two different backgrounds, and you find yourself in a mix of...
Left in a room alone.
Yes, so it's one of the things that you need to get wisdom on this great institution called marriage. And if you get wisdom, then it helps you to understand, because marriage goes through about 4 phases. We call them the 4 Ds.
Okay.
The first one is dream, because there you are seeing butterflies. You're like,
That's
we're going
that's
to have
the one I like, boss.
yeah, we're going to have 5 babies. We're going to have all these things.
A big mansion on
a
the
big mansion on the
hill.
hill. We're going to travel the world. So you're all dreaming and you're just seeing butterflies. And yes, then reality hits when you get to marry. Now we're looking at this formal aspect of it, because I know there's some people cohabiting. There's some people out there who maybe have lived together for a longer time. But we're talking about the ideal.
Christian, ideal Christian marriage, yes.
Ideal Christian marriage. That before you walk into a man's home, you need to get counseling before you walk in there. And also, you need to understand that when you're in there, there's some dynamics that are going to happen. And in those dynamics, I can group them into the 4 stages. That when you're starting, it's a dream.
Yes.
This is what I want to be. I want to be the best mom. I want to be the best wife. And and then drama happens, which is the second stage.
And usually it's like after a week. If you make it to the week.
Yes, drama happens because now in there you get to realize that the person you loved so much, the person you saw without makeup, with makeup, you can now see them without makeup. The person you thought is a very neat person, they throw socks anywhere. Toothpaste, the way you do it, you press your toothpaste from the bottom. Somebody else just presses it from the middle. As long as the toothpaste comes out,
it doesn't.
And that's now the drama. And you're not supposed to do this. Why are you throwing socks everywhere? Why?
His nose is human.
Yes. So all those things happen. And that's now where the drama is, because remember, maybe you've been brought up by both parents. The other person was brought up by one parent.
Or none.
Or none. And all this is now comes to 2 people living together, 2 different backgrounds, 2 different cultures maybe, because today we have cross-culture marriages, and all those things are happening at the same time, and you're in there in that marriage institution. So it's one of the things. Then the 3rd stage, of course, is discovery. Now
so
here
after the drama, we get into discovery.
We get into discovery. Okay. You now get to know that, so this is
my reality.
This is my reality. I think for me, the discovery with my wife, Christine, she got to realize that for us, we are loud. So at the dining table,
in the dreaming
in the dreaming phase, she got the best out of me. I had to, to match up to this girl that I love so much. But when it came to discovery, she realized for us,
there's no soft
yes,
corn.
at the dining table, I shout, please, get send me the salt, and the top of my voice is like, you're loud, you're shouting, you're rude. Like, no, for us this is normal.
This is us. This is
Yeah, but when you meet us as a family, when we're at that dining table, that's us. We talk while eating and shout, and But for
so
her,
in
from the kind of
discovery,
background,
she finds
she
out.
discovers, oh my goodness. So this is it. This is the kind of person I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. Yes, and for me the interesting bit was when we met a couple who had been married for. We're counseling a couple who had been married for. I think they were making their 17th year,
Okay.
and then at that time, and then the gentleman says, no, the wife says, you always drive at night. For the last 17 years, you drive at night.
And
I
it
don't
bothers.
understand.
Mm.
Yes, I don't understand you.
But
And
after
he said-
17 years, we're still discovering.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay.
And it's like, do you want to know why? And she's like, I've asked you so many times, you've never answered. She said, no, you've never asked. I said, really? I've never asked. She says, you've never asked. If you're talking about it, you just talk about it, but you've never asked. So he says, do you want to know? And he says yes. And he says, I panic when I'm in jam, traffic jam. So I love driving at night
When there are
because
less
when
cars
there's,
on the road.
so when they're going to Mbarara for Christmas,
He wants
to-
to leave at 4.
so let's sleep and we shall leave at maybe 3. Or if you don't want to leave at 3, let's leave at 11 p.m. and travel to,
But this is something that has taken 17 years.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you're living together, you're getting to know each other better, and also improve on each other's ways of life. So that's all a journey of
And
this institution.
and that leads us to the 4th.
Yes, the 4th D is discovery. Depth. After discovery is depth, and now depth is where you now know the person so well, you complete each other's sentences.
Do those things happen?
Yes, they do happen. There's
Yes, they do happen, but
there is an old couple that we visited, and it was quite amazing because now these ones, you hear their stories, and you can see the body language that these guys have really lived together. They know each other so well that when one is going away, he says, please continue with the story. I'm coming back. And then when he goes, you just see him coming back with a sweater, a second sweater, a cup of tea. He knows how much how much tea, sugar the other person takes. So they have
The
lived
ideal
together.
couple.
Yes, they know each other.
So that's depth.
Yeah, so that's depth. They know each other. It's like when he comes back after bringing the tea, it's like, where did you stop in the conversation?
So they continue.
So that I continue.
Isn't that
It's like
what marriage should
yes,
be?
we got this land in 1914. This is what happened during.
They are synchronized, like they're
yes,
together.
absolutely. They know each other. So it's very, very important that
So we've looked at there's drama, there's
dream,
drama, discovery, and
depth. Yes.
Now, okay, for our viewers, that is a very beautiful. I hope we know where we lie. Though, from what I've heard from you, it doesn't matter the years.
No, it doesn't.
You can
matter
actually
that.
be in discovery up to 30 years of marriage.
Absolutely.
But God help us that we know the timing for those things. So today especially, we want to talk about that book, The Strand of Three.
Yes, the strand of three.
The Strand of Three, for couples out there that feel like, you know what, I am tired. Maybe I've discovered what I've discovered I don't like. I don't want to go into the depth.
Yes.
I am done. Or for those who have tried, they've discovered, they've gotten depth, but what they have found they do not actually like. I cannot live like this.
Right.
And they feel like, I am out there. And for our viewers, if you're in that place, first of all, what I want to share with us is it's not an embarrassment.
Right.
Because most of us as Christians feel, I can't tell even people that I am at the brink of giving up.
Right.
And you just get to know after they've given up.
Right.
So that is why Pastor Sam is here today to tell us about this strand of three. What is it about?
Okay, the strand of three basically means that God is the third strand in a relationship like marriage. And what this is, it's a 12 weeks program. Basically, it's couples that are almost throwing in a towel that go through this program. The church where I go to, I'm a pastor in a church called Mavuno. Mavuno is a Swahili word for harvest, and so it's a movement of churches. We also have a program called Ndoa. Ndoa is for
The one
couples
for intending to get married.
intending to get married, and those who are married to enrich their
Marriages.
marriages. So so that is for those who are enriching and those who intend to get married. But for this one,
It's
the
those who
strand of-
want to throw in a towel.
this one, those who want to throw in a towel, before they sign the divorce papers, we're like, please, can we
Give
have,
us a chance.
can we give it a chance? And so far we have succeeded with one couple.
Really?
Yes. And
Congratulations.
thank you. We've succeeded with one couple so far, and they'd been separated for 6 months, and we're at a place of signing the papers.
Like they've actually given up. They've gone to court, started
Yeah.
on the
the
divorce
process, and then we're like, please, we are told you want to complete throwing a towel. Can we give it a chance? And when we spoke to the lady, the man was surprised that she was able to accept to come and just sit together and just go through the experience.
But Pastor Sam, if
Yes.
I've reached the level of going to court, is there a hope? Surely.
You know, I think what we need to know is that there was once a spark in this relationship. And there's a reason why God never makes mistakes. But unfortunately, I think COVID taught us this during the lockdown. Because people are in a rat race, we end up just being at a place of surviving in marriage, surviving in a relationship, because you wake up very early in the morning, all of you go away, and then what brings you back is really the children, and then you finish your day's work, and then all you have to do is hi, how are you, how was your
tired,
week? I'm tired, go to bed. And then so the romance there is also something that is compromised, and getting to know each other, and so the children also take up that time. And so it's one of the things that Christine and I have discovered, that we need to, even in Ndoa, we encourage couples to have a date night where you just get to, once in a week, that you just get to wine.
Pastor
And
Sam, once in
Yes.
a what?
once in a week.
Once in a week.
Yes, it's a
How is
good,
that even possible?
it's very possible.
Hmm.
What is important to you, you make
give
time for it.
That's true.
Yeah, because marriage is the best legacy you can ever leave for your children and for your mentees, the people who look up to you. So when you say that I'm done, I remember.
I can't stay with this man anymore.
Yes, I
am
can't.
tired.
I can't handle this man anymore. I can't handle this woman anymore. We in the
hope.
strand of three, we are like, let's go back to that place. What brought you together in the first
Do you
place?
still even remember?
Yes, what brought you together,
What brought
and
you together?
what can we do about it? Because the truth is, you called maybe 100 people to come and witness you say I do to this beautiful woman or to this handsome man, and then we contributed, we ate cake, we ate, and then all of a sudden you're saying, you know what, I'm done with it.
Done without consulting us. who
Yes,
ate
so
food.
we go to the place of what are these big elephants in the room that we can address? Is it infidelity? Is it a money issue? And over time, I've got to realize that it's the biggest of all this. I've learned of recent that is the hardened heart.
That is the problem.
Yeah, the hardened heart. Because if you don't have a hardened heart, then you can be able to forgive. And also the place of communication. And the recent statistics that I came across was that the number one cause of divorce is not even infidelity, it's not even money, but the number one cause is communication. And when you look at communication, because where there's no communication, people fill in gaps. And then the next thing you know is what became a presumption or an assumption, it becomes reality, and somebody feels, I think I'm done with this. So at the strand of three, we try to address that and say, look, let's go back to the drawing board. And it's not easy. because the program has 2 retreats where we
In
go
10 weeks.
in 10 weeks. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The mid retreat we don't mind you staying in separate rooms,
Okay.
but it's a sleepover, and we get to say, let's meet in the morning and have this conversation. Yeah, but it's really a reconciliation
so
experience.
you walk through this journey with them,
Yes,
with a couple.
with a couple. And if I can just read through the first lesson we ask on week 1 is how did you meet your love, and what was the spark? So because in a relationship everybody has their type. So how come that this now your type, you're like, I don't want it anymore?
I don't want it anymore.
And
Yet at some point,
at one point,
you
even
had to live
no
for
one
that.
could stop you, even to go to that place of saying, I do. I want to leave this person for the rest of my life. Yes, and remember that certificate, as I said, it's a very interesting institution. They give you a certificate, and you show it to everyone, and like, I'm going to defend it from day one. And for the men, even as I speak to the men, because that's my passion, working with the boy child and men, and I always tell them, on day one, even as you enter this relationship, you are going to defend. The reason she's on your left, sorry for the left-handed men out there, is that you have to defend her, and you are a bridegroom because you're grooming your bride.
Oh.
Yes, so you defend her from day one.
So you're groomed because you're grooming your bride.
Yeah, your bride's groom.
Oh.
So you're grooming your wife. So you defend her from day one, and that means that even in this relationship, you are the driving seat, even as you lead this brilliant woman that God has given you. Which takes me to the story in the Bible of a gentleman called Nabal. I think it's in 1 Samuel 25. Married to Abigail.
Yes.
He was so wealthy. The Bible says he was so wealthy,
but yet foolish.
But yet foolish. I just want to imagine how Abigail was managing in that home. Yes, and then when David comes to attack the land because of his ways, he says, "My lord, I'm married to a fool."
So she was aware she was married to a fool. How
She was so
she
much aware.
handling?
I just want to understand. Maybe when I get to heaven one day, I'll ask her, Abigail, how did you do
How are you
this
managing with a foolish man?
with a foolish man? But yet she was. I want to believe she was submissive, and she knew. Yet, and the Bible calls her a brilliant woman. There's a word that has eluded me, but there's a description of her as a very intelligent woman that she was. But yet she was married to Nabal, and this was a man that was leading her, because at the end of the day, he's your leader. And I think these are some of the things I look back and say, there's nothing under the sun that is new to us. And
The
it
Bible
calls
somehow has everything
that we ever look up to. And even for the single men out there, it's even as they walking into this institution, I like what I think it is in I think it's second Genesis. I think Genesis chapter 2, where God presents, I think it's either Genesis 1 or 2, where God presents Adam with Eve, or the man throws the first lines that every young man out there looking for a woman to marry should pick up, because he says, I forgot my Bible, but he says a very, very interesting words there, that this is the woman, the
bone of my bones.
bone of my bones. And you know, it's quite interesting. I think I should read it when if I find it here. But yes, so these are key things that we look at, and in the book, even as we go through the let me just look for it here. It's Genesis 2:23. It says, the man said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. Now, this woman, I think, is just the authors just tried to cut it, but I think he was holding his head and saying "woo," and she came out as woman. She was taken out of man. So Adam fulfills his desire God created him for. So we look back and say, look, much as a lot has happened in your life, but there was this moment where each of you looked at each other as the most special person in your life. So we try to walk backwards and say, this was the ideal. So what has gone, what has evolved over time? Because reality is out there is that when we grow, even in marriage, like us, when we look back the 20 years that we've been married, a lot has happened. A lot
And
has
a lot
changed.
has changed, yeah.
Yes, the children come in place and all other things. Then, if you're not so keen, you can miss out on that thing which you started with on fire. So, the strand of three, we say, God is the third strand, and with God, there's nothing impossible. So we say, yes, there's the you as a husband, the wife, and then the God as the third strand. So how do we how do we resolve this to make sure that we handle these issues? Because there's, and all of us could be right in that marriage to say, he cheated on me, she cheated on me, but then what's the right thing to do in that regard? And
What's the right thing to do? We're going to take a short break. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, remember what is the right thing to do. But we're going to come back and continue the conversation about these people who are about to give up. What do we do? How do we even get in touch with Pastor Sam to even get involved in this program? Or if you're not able to get in this, to realize that it's not too late. We can always get back to where we started. Don't go away. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.